Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA, welcome to Nationwide on our channel. I am Ronke Kolawole. President Muhammadu Buhari has urged the 2016 Nigerian National Order of Merit Honors Award to bring to bear their wealth of experience in assisting the government towards solving the current economic challenges in the country. The president made the appeal at the 9th Annual Forum of the Laureates in Abuja. He was represented at the forum by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babachir David Lawal. Adebola Brookston Sunday has the report.
The forum brought together both old and current laureates. Former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Obadiah Mailafia, spoke on the theme, Mono Economy, Diversification, Exchange Rate Stability and Development of the Nigerian Nation. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babachir David Lawal, who represented President Muhammadu Buhari, declared the summit open.
Nigeria should aspire to achieve their best. We must work hard. We must recognize the best among us, those who work hard, those who God have endowed with special skills.
Happy to know that the government is already working on finalizing an economic recovery plan for the country. I've always insisted that this economic recovery plan needs to have an inbuilt framework for rigorous implementation, monitoring, evaluation, and feedback.
We are expected to do define knowledge, provide solution, and expect the people who have the means and wherewithal to come in and take the ideas and convert to industry.
The two award recipients spoke on how to contribute to strengthening the nation's economy.
I believe we needed to improve, to put more funds into the TED funds. Research is the solution to many of our problems in terms of energy development, sufficiency, in terms of training new and upcoming researchers.
We need a lot of the values of humanity to really pursue even the scientific goals we need to move on in the country.
The recipients are expected to contribute their wealth of experience and ideas in policies needed for the development and diversification of Nigeria's economy. Adebola Brookston Sunday, NTA News.
We now go straight to the National Assembly, where the House of Representatives ad hoc Committee on Insurance has urged all government-owned organizations to engage only registered insurance firms for their insurance policy. The committee gave the advice at its ongoing investigation on alleged malpractice involving insurance companies and some government officials. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports that the House says $500 million insurance contract by NIGCOMSAT did not follow due process.
The public hearing continued with management of Nigerian communication satellite, NIGCOMSAT, submitting the list of its insurance brokers. Members of the committee sought to know why most companies operating in Nigeria refuse to patronize the Nigerian satellite.
And you don't think that outsourcing the backup could help you to get those business and retain those businesses? I am surprised, ma. Could you please respond?
The money to get that, you mentioned that's like seeking, the outsourcer is like backing up, renting a transponder, or you need money to tie it down. We don't have such.
Chairman of the committee, Representative Adekunle Akilade, was not happy that the managing director could not provide the financial value of the satellite. The committee thereafter invited the former managing director of the organization for questioning, warned against neglect of indigenous insurance brokers. Similarly, some financial organizations at a public hearing by the House Committee on Commerce have welcomed the proposed bill for an act to provide for secure transactions, registration and regulation of security interest in movable assets. Representative Nicholas Osai, the sponsor of the bill, who represented the Speaker, observed that the bill, if passed, will enable many medium and small-scale enterprises in Nigeria to have access to credit without having to tender landed property as collateral.
It is often the case that credit applications with banks and other leaders in Nigeria get rejected due to insufficient collateral or unsuitable collateral.
Very, very germane that we have an act. It provides for the processes, it provides for breaches.
Getting access to credit for MSMEs is a crucial part of businesses to be able to develop and ultimately to develop the economy.
Everyone agrees that the establishment of the National Collateral Registry is the way to go in promoting credit.
The bill is part of the House of Representatives' legislative intervention in the challenges of access to credit facilities in Nigeria. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTN News.
Thank you, Ignatius. And now to other national matters. The federal government has restated its resolve to prioritize the development and maintenance of infrastructural facilities to promote culture and tourism. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed stated this at this year's Nigerian Tourism Investment Forum and Exhibition in Abuja, as reported by Anthony Forson.
Chronicling efforts made by the federal government to develop the sector, the minister narrated the journey so far, which include signing of memorandum of understanding and forging partnership, as well as showcasing Nigeria's huge potentials in culture and tourism, which has received a robust acceptance around the world, prompting United Nations World Tourism Organization to assist Nigeria develop a tourism master plan.
Tourism has the potential to create more jobs per unit of investment than most other industries. It is a major asset to Nigeria's quest to become one of the 20 largest economies in the world by year 2020.
The minister, while noting that the tourism sector in Nigeria is at its infancy, was optimistic that with a population of over 170 million, it is a hub for investment in Abuja. Anthony Forson, NTN News.
New entrants into the legal profession in Nigeria have been told to adhere strictly to the ethics of the profession if they are to excel. Acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onoge, made the call at the Court of Bar of over 4,000 new wigs in Abuja. Femi Okeowo reports.
You may now put on the wig.
4,175 new wigs are being called in this session of Call to Bar, which is the second batch for 2016. In the light of recent happenings in the legal profession, Acting Chief Justice of Nigeria thinks that more should be done by practitioners to respect the code of conduct and ethics of the profession.
You are therefore expected to keep the profession honorable and untarnished, to maintain the dignity and uphold its core value as well.
As a way of ensuring quality training, Director General of the Nigerian Law School again warned the nation's universities against indiscriminate admission that violates their quota.
Another source of concern for our profession is the ever-increasing number of new law faculties as approved by the National Universities Commission. What has been troubling is the absence of discernible effort at putting in place the components of support for expansion in terms of manpower growth and infrastructural facilities.
This is the time when the quality of lawyers that are being turned out should be checked and rechecked, which is what this Call to Bar seems to have set out to achieve, with the commitment of all those who matter in the legal profession, making sure that these people are fit and proper for the legal practice. From the International Conference Center, Femi Okeowo, NTN News.
Thank you, Femi. With available white-collar jobs that are not enough to cater for the teeming population, Nigerian youths have been advised to make the best use of skills acquisition program of the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC. FCT Minister Muhammad Musa Bello gave the advice in a message to the swearing-in of NYSC FCT 2016 Batch B orientation exercise. Olayinka Ojo, here's that report.
From different institutions, field of study, race, and ethnic background, These youths have come and will be serving their fatherland for the next 1 year, beginning with this oath of allegiance.
Regard, fellow Nigerians, as my brothers and sisters.
Encouraging the core members to believe in themselves as government looks up to them to find solutions to some of the problems facing the nation. FCTA Director Establishment and Training, Saliu Mohammed, who represented the minister, said, becoming self-employed and employer of labor starts now.
We shall also ensure that your welfare is taken care of within the confines of the resources available to us.
On the issue of core members' rejection, Director General NYSC, who was represented, said a circular has gone to government agencies and parastatals, warning them against rejection of youth core members.
The Secretary to the government has really done justice to what he said. Our sons and daughters should not be left, hanging.
By this pronouncement, we are going to breathe a sigh of relief.
As at the time of filing this report, 2,936 youth corps members posted to the FCT have registered for the mandatory 1-year national service. In Abuja, Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
To raise the standard of teaching and learning of mathematics in Plateau State, the state government has initiated a partnership with the National Mathematics Center and the Sustainable Development Projects in providing all materials for effective learning of the subjects. This was contained in the governor's message at the closing of a 2-week intensive training on mental arithmetic and mathematics for teachers and students held in Jos. Yusuf Umar reports.
2 weeks trainee workshop organized by federal government in collaboration with the National Mathematical Center and sponsored by the Sustainable Development Goals (MDGs) brought together teachers and students from some selected secondary schools on the plateau with the aim of inculcating in them new mathematical learning techniques at the basic level. Governor Simon Lalong, represented by the Deputy Governor Professor Sonitio Den, who was highly impressed with the performance of participants at the workshop, promised to extend the knowledge to other schools in the states.
We discovered that without mathematics, you can go nowhere, because mathematics is the foundation of all science subjects. And we're in the 21st century, which is a scientific century, because everything is either scientifically or technologically oriented.
Director and Chief Executive, National Mathematical Center, represented by Professor Peter Onomiyin, and the SDGs Project Officer Olatunji Jekainfa, say this is part of their organization's mandates in improving the standard of education, especially mathematics, which has been a major challenge to most students.
We want to capture them young for educational development in this country. We are all witnessing the fact that education is not moving in the right direction.
We have chosen mental arithmetic training and maths improvement training because of its importance to the learning of maths in our secondary schools.
Some of the participants speak.
Thank you for bringing this opportunity to us.
Abacus, how to use the abacus, and they taught me how to be disciplined, intelligent.
The participants selected from Junior Secondary School 1 and 2 were exposed to all the rudiments of mental arithmetic and mathematics. In Jos, Yusuf Umar, NTA News.
And now Nigeria is willing to partner with other nations that have excelled in various areas in science, technology and innovation. Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Bunaya Onu, explained reasons for such crucial collaboration at a news conference on the outcome of the 2016 World Web Summit in Lisbon, Portugal, where he represented President Muhammadu Buhari. Science correspondent Kirian Humayo reports.
Nigeria's planned partnership with Portugal resulted from a meeting between Nigeria's Minister of Science and Technology and his Portuguese counterpart at the sidelines of the 2016 Lisbon Web Summit. Areas of mutual interest include agriculture, biochemistry, biotechnology, and marine exploration. Dr. Boneonu said that the diversification of the nation's economy can only be sustainable when it is driven by science, technology, and innovation.
We are looking for achievements. You know that we are going to the heart of the problem why we have not been able to do as well. Because if you don't have funding, there is no way you can reform. And this is what has happened in the past. This attention that we are paying now, if it had been paid in the past, we wouldn't be having the problems we're having today.
The minister also told newsmen that plan has reached advanced stage towards seeking a bill to establish National Research and Innovation Council Fund that will give vent to the establishment of Science and Technology Bank, primarily for the funding of research and innovation in the country. Kirian Umayo, NTA News.
Lagos is our first stop on Nationwide as Ademola led us into trending stories from the Center of Excellence. Ademola, it is over to you.
Thank you, Ronke. Good afternoon and welcome to Lagos. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has restated federal government's commitment towards resuscitating the nation's textile and garment industries through friendly policies and partnership with relevant stakeholders. The minister stated this at the Fashion Art Fusion Wear Nigeria exhibition held in Lagos. Jane Ojukwu has the report.
The minister, who was represented by the Director Lagos Office, National Institute for Cultural Orientation, Mr. Louis Eriomala, said that government recognizes the huge employment opportunity in the industry for the teeming Nigerian youth and therefore plans to revisit trade agreements such as African Growth and Opportunity Act (AGOA) and enter into similar agreements with interested countries. This is with a view to unleashing more opportunities to creative Nigerians. He urged the citizenry to wear made in Nigerian clothing.
The government is actually interested in what they're doing. The Executive Secretary for Nigeria's Promotional Council, Mr. Olusegun Olowo, recently trained 70 designers in fashion design so that their production will be able to stand international markets. So government is actually doing something about promoting the fashion and textile industry in Nigeria.
The organizer of the Fashion Art Fusion, Austin Imanko, speaks on the concept of Wear Nigeria campaign.
The easiest way to reach the people is through culture. And dressing is part of our culture. We make these fabrics here. We must encourage it. We have to start exporting it. We have to start using it. The market is massive.
Highlight of the event was an exhibition of fashion and accessories made with Nigerian fabrics by Nigerian designers. In Lagos, Jane Ojukwu, NTA News.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has arraigned a serving judge of the Federal High Court, Justice Rita Ofili Ajumogobia, and his former prosecutor and senior advocate of Nigeria, Godwin Obla. They were arraigned before Justice Hakeem Oshodi of the Lagos High Court, Ikeja. Vera Chumoba was there.
Justice Rita Ofili Ajumogobia of the Federal High Court and Godwin Obla, former EFCC prosecutor, are facing a 30-count charge preferred against them by the EFCC. The charges border on conspiracy to pervert the course of justice. Godwin Obla was alleged to have offered gratification by transferring the sum of 5 million naira from his company, Obla and Company Limited, domiciled at the UBA, to Nigel and Colive Limited, a company in which Justice Ajumogobia is the sole signatory. Ajumogobia was alleged to have enriched herself by receiving a transfer of 18 million naira from Ackling Oil and Gas Company in her Diamond Bank account. She was also alleged to have received a total of $793,800 in her domiciliary account between 2012 and 2015. The transfers were alleged to have been made in order to restrain her from acting in excess of her official duties as a public servant. However, when the charges were read and plea taken, they pleaded not guilty. After listening to the submission of the defense team, Ifedaya Adedipe, Wale Akoni, and EFCC counsel Rotimi Oyedakbo on the bail application, Justice Hakeem Oshodi granted them bail on self-recognition in the sum of 20 million naira each to be paid within 7 days. They are also to deposit their travel documents with the chief registrar of the court. Justice Oshodi, who dismissed the claim by the EFCC prosecutor that Ajumogobia will interfere with investigation if released on bail, said she is a judge of the Federal High Court and has never been found wanting. The court commenced trial immediately. In Lagos, Viera Chumuba, NTA News.
The leadership of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, has been advised to work out a strategy to midwife the unity among Christians in the Nigerian church and for the body of Christ worldwide. Speakers gave the advice at the 10th anniversary of the International Foundation for Christian Unity for Southwest Christian Leaders held in Lagos. Ken Egbeluke completes the story.
The meeting provided opportunity for church leaders in the Southwest to discuss ways of fostering unity among Christians in the region. It was also to highlight the leadership qualities of CAN members for other Christian leaders to emulate and make the church the beacon of light and hope it ought to be in the country. Speakers re-echoed the importance of unity among Christians as a way of propagating the gospel of Jesus Christ. They argued that Christian disunity today is primarily as a result of divergence in doctrines and teachings. This, they noted, has not made the church to live up to its responsibility.
There's need for proper discipleship within the context of the scriptures and not within the context of denominations. And as the Lord gives us insight and understanding, we're able to move forward and interact at that level where there's no barrier, denominational barrier, and we can make progress. Because what is important is the need to come together and have one common purpose and not several purposes.
God has given us 7 principles that will lead us to Christian unity. And those 7 principles are derivatives from the 7 Jewish festivals.
A former High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Christopher Kolade, and Most Reverend Magnus Atilade are of the opinion that the time has come for Christians to do away with issues that tend to divide them, but rather come together and work for the common cause to forge unity among Christians.
We'll remember that we all belong to one family. We should concentrate on those things that bind us together rather than the ones that divide us. And always remember that Satan is there in the wings, waiting to rejoice as long as we are disunited.
It's not discovering any unity, but harnessing what unites us, that we should, propagate it more, hold on dearly to it, all those things that unite us rather than the things that divide us.
The International Foundation for Christian Unity is a non-governmental and non-denominational Christian organization with the sole purpose of promoting Christian unity in the country. In Lagos, Ken Igbeluge, NTA News.
And that does it from Lagos. It's back to you, Ronke, for more on Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Demola. Estate developers in the country have been advised to review the prices of houses they build to make them affordable and attract patronage. The acting managing director and chief executive officer of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Richard Eshin, gave the advice during an interaction with estate developers in Katsina and Kaduna states. Salihu Abdullahi has the report.
Nigerians are not new to several initiatives initiated over the years to address challenges of affordable housing in Nigeria. Such efforts were targeted at enhancing synergy among primary mortgage institutions, banks, housing microfinance institutions. But despite these, the challenge of decent and affordable housing still persists. That story may be changing if the words of acting managing director, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Richard Essin, is anything to go by. During a visit to some estates funded by the Mortgage Bank in Katsina and Kaduna states, Mr. Essin expressed optimism in the recent initiative, Housing for All, by the Buhari administration to address the challenge. The visit provided a platform for the team to engage housing developers on the need to meet the plight of citizens in the area of affordable shelter.
It's basically to keep encouraging credible developers to build affordable houses in partnership with Federal Mortgage Bank. And then as those houses meet requirements in terms of design, in terms of quality standards and all that, we'll be able to make funds available to package the mortgage. But I'm sure you also are aware that there's a national housing model that the Federal Ministry of Power Works and Housing is working on. And that model should be ready any time from now. It's all about standardization.
He assured of government's commitment in providing the needed enabling environment for sustainable housing development in the country, especially through prudent allocation of houses in both government and private built estates.
The bank will always make the finances available so that the contributors to National Housing Fund can access those houses. One of the reasons why we are pushing on sanitation is to be able to control the price, and then
4 estates funded by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Judicial Ventures Phase 1 and 2, as well as Sangun Shanu and Zaria Bypass estates, all in Katsina and Kaduna states, were inspected. Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
The federal government has stated its resolve to effectively utilize Nigerian engineers in the task of nation building as part of deliberate efforts towards enhancing local content and the development of infrastructure in the country. President Muhammadu Buhari made this known shortly after his investiture as the grand patron of the Nigerian Academy of Engineering. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo. Here's the report.
I used my husband's measurements.
With his formal decoration as the grand patron of the Nigerian Academy of Engineering, in line with Article 7 of his constitution, President Muhammadu Buhari is now expected to promote, support and protect the activities of the academy. And this he promised to do, not only because of his new appointment, but out of conviction that Nigerian engineers are competent and their engagement in the task of rebuilding Nigeria will be cost-effective.
Those of us who really wanted to serve, we found Nigerian engineers very, very quick in uptaking and performing in the field. I very much appreciate it, and I assure you that by insisting to be cost-effective, societal engineers will be utilized as much as humanly possible by this administration.
The president recalled with pride how, as Minister of Petroleum Resources in the late 70s, he supervised the construction of 2 refineries, about 20 depots, and thousands of kilometers of pipelines, with Nigerian professionals constituting over 90% of the workforce. His confidence in the Nigerian engineers, he said, remains unshaken, but insists that the academy must prevail on its members to avoid acts inimical to national development.
How can an ordinary Nigerian go into the sea 70 kilometers or more and below an installation? That cannot be done by ordinary Nigerians. So I hope you will appeal to your colleagues to make sure that what we have built, they should just regard it, whether they are working under multinationals or they are working for the government.
President of the Academy, Joanna Olumaduka, expressed delight at the desire of the Buhari administration to fix the nation's infrastructure deficit, saying for this to be done effectively, however, inputs from all cadres of engineering disciplines must be required.
Nigerian Academy of Engineering, NAE, is convinced that your government can take the country to the arena of developed nations by funding and harnessing the gains of science, technology, and innovation. However, for the country to attain sustainable growth status, the Nigerian engineers need to be adequately involved in planning, policy formulation, consultancy, and construction.
The Nigerian Academy of Engineering commended the president for the renewed onslaught against corruption, describing it as a critical step in the right direction towards achieving sustainable economic growth and development. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
It is no to child marriage, says Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, as he unveils new logo to sensitize the public of the dangers of giving out underage girls in marriage. The Vice President described the event as a new movement going on globally, stressing that it is time to take action in ending child marriage, which has consequences not only on the child, but the nation in general.
The battle is now for the minds of men and women who, for one reason or the other, still believe that child marriage is right. Unfortunately, their views cannot be ignored or waved aside. They must be understood and rebutted by the overwhelming case for the healthy, happy and prosperous future of girls and of the nation that suffers the loss of their talents and skills. We must persuade by constant advocacy, moral suasion. We must consistently make the case until the last vestiges of this practice dies.
Obehi is in Benin for more reports on Nationwide.
Hello, Ronke. Thanks for joining us in Benin. Governor Godwin Obaseki is encouraging the Ladies Mechanic Initiative by directing female mechanics to take over the maintenance of vehicles in Government House and be in charge of the workshop. He stated this at the graduation ceremony of the last 25 trainees out of the 100 trained mechanics and technicians in Benin. Agatha Igwariojo reports.
Making a choice of career, mechanic is a field of specialty considered an unconventional area for a woman. It, however, appears that the trend is changing. These are the last batch of girls trained in the maintenance of vehicles, air conditioners, and other technical works. Governor Obaseki's offer to them to take up maintenance of government vehicles is in furtherance of his commitment to create jobs and make the youths financially independent. He urged the Lady Mechanic Initiative to relocate its proposed mechanic village to Benin Technical College as government has commenced the process of revamping the school.
I campaigned on the fact that we will create a minimum of 200,000 jobs. I meant it.
The young ladies who have embraced the male-dominated profession speak on the skills acquired during the period. The initiator, Sandra Agwebo, is 32 years old in the business, having started from age 13 after graduating from the Benin Technical College.
Support your administration. Because the fact that you said you want to empower 200,000 youths, already we are doing the change. The change is already here.
In Benin, Agatha Igwariojo, NTA News.
100 ex-agitators drawn from Edo State are benefiting from the federal government's Amnesty program for sustainable means of livelihood. The special advisor to the president on Niger Delta and coordinator on Amnesty program, Brigadier General Paul Boro, disclosed this at the inauguration of a pilot fishery farming project for 100 of the beneficiaries in Benin. Mohammed Abdulkadri reports.
That was the symbolic feeding of the 2,000 fingerling by the coordinator, Federal Government Amnesty Program, Brigadier General Paul Boro.
Part of the program to ensure sustainable reintegration of ex-agitators in Niger Delta, and again as a means of resolving the conflict in the Niger Delta, which is the main interest of Mr. President.
Why the special advisor to the president on Niger Delta appealed to the ex-agitators to put down their arms and pick a more secured future under the 10,000 agricultural empowerment project, he said government is concerned about their well-being. The beneficiary of the pilot fishery project said he will nurture the fish to table size.
The project has done so much for me. It brought me out from the creek and it's giving me direction on how to go in life.
Other beneficiaries of the federal government amnesty program in the state are expected to hit the ground running to take advantage of the project. The empowerment project is replicated in other states of the Niger Delta, and it is the prerogative of the beneficiaries to decide where they want their sites to be sited. In Benin, Edo State, Muhammad Abdelkader, NTA News.
The Nigerian Electricity Management Services Agency has vowed to stamp out quackery and to remove illegal electrical installations in Nigeria. The Managing Director, Nigerian Electricity Management Services Agency, and Chief Electrical Inspector of the Federation, Mr. Peter Eweso, stated this at the inauguration of the Benin Zonal Electrical Installation Contractor Certification Panel in Benin. Goodluck Enaini reports.
Inaugurating the 9-man panel, Mr. Iweso expressed dismay how the activities of quacks in the system has led to frequent network collapse and failure. He explained that this scenario has led to loss of lives and property. He said the panel will ensure that only certified persons are allowed to practice.
If you do wrong wiring, you do wrong electrical installation works, that's what causes electrical accident, that people are dying every day. This is why this panel is put in place to check on wholesome activities in the industry.
Chairman of the panel, Mr. Quadri Alaba, and some members promised to live up to expectation.
On behalf of the committee, I promise you that we are going to do this assignment to the best capability we can go through.
The message is that everybody should take it as a point of duty to do the right thing at the right time.
The inauguration of this panel is actually coming at the right time, whereby we have to safeguard our industry, we have to protect our industry.
Some electrical installation contractors applauded the move by the federal government to sanitize the sector.
It's at the best time because most of these things are done by quack, because even the quacks, they get more jobs compared to those who are certified.
National Certification of Electrical Contractors in Nigeria is the initiative of the Buhari-led administration for the purpose of sustainable electricity supply and guaranteeing safety of lives and property in Nigeria. In Benin, I am Goodluck Enaini, NTA News.
From Benin, Nationwide continues with Ronke in Abuja.
Thank you, Obehi. You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. This is Nationwide, reaching you live on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. We now want to go on commercial break, and when we come back, there'll be news and more news for you. Continue staying with us.
Do you know that importing consumables and domestic products kill local manufacturing and negatively affect the growth of the economy? That some imported products are dangerous to your health? That building factories can generate massive employment and grow the economy? Buying locally made products and services means investing back in the economy. Thousands of Nigerians are innovative and can take Nigeria to the next level. Growing the economy starts with you and I. Raise the standard. Grow the economy. Buy Made in Nigeria.
Ending violence against women and related inhuman practices. This is the focus on NTA Tuesday Live this week. Tuesday Live. Educative, informative, incisive, and engaging. Don't be told. Join us.
Nigeria joins the rest of the world in going digital. This means Nigeria is moving from analog terrestrial TV broadcasting to digital. Now, digital broadcasting gives you clearer pictures, crystal clear sound, and a chance for more channels and more shows to watch. Digital TV is a whole new experience for you and a rich harvest of digital gift for the nation. Come aboard, Nigeria going digital.
Coming to Abuja soon.
You know say they don't find crude oil for my pile backyard.
Crude oil.
You know say you like to dey talk.
I am not a perforated clay pot that leaks water.
What I want to tell you, you will not tell anybody.
I am a secret agent. In fact, if you tell me secret now, I don't remember.
Unbelievable! This week on your award-winning comedy series, Professor John Bull, starring Kanayo Okanayo, Mercy Johnson, Queen Wokoye, Yomi Fash Lanso, Oguz Baba.
Udawatina.
Cost me. Insult me.
There are more means of seeking redress rather than engaging in vilifying, defaming, and vituperative measures as a way of seeking restitution.
Professor John Bull, this Tuesday and Friday, 8:30 to 9 p.m. on NTA Network, International, and Star Times.
You have udonized my English.
Udonized? I'm udonizing you right now.
Over and out.
Welcome to the new speed of life. Abuja Carnival.
Unique,
captivating, enchanting,
a show of unity, a celebration of culture,
an unrivaled cultural experience.
The best cultural party ever.
Miss it, you miss it,
you miss it, you miss it, you miss it, you miss out. Be there.
Abuja Carnival 2016. Theme: the creative industry, pivot to economic growth. Destination: Abuja Capital City. Date: December 3rd to 6th, 2016.
Abuja Carnival, a truly national carnival.
The essence of having a leader. When you promise, you make sure that you fulfill your promises. And that's what I'm after in particular, the success of my husband's administration. And he can't do it alone except with the help of the governor's wives, and all members of our progressive party.
Hear the call of change. Stand up, Nigeria. Change is here and it's going to stay. Change begins with you. Oh yeah, make we go. Go to so let the change begin from within. Look at you, Ogerola. Change begins with you and me. Change begins with me. Change begins with me. Change begins.
Glad to know you're still watching Nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. We now join Asmao in Sokoto for more reports on Nationwide.
Good afternoon and welcome to Sokoto. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Yusuf Tukur Brutai says the Army Council has approved the establishment of the 8th Division of the Nigerian Army in Sokoto. The Chief of Army Staff disclosed this while on a condolence visit over the demise of the 18th Sultan of Sokoto, Ibrahim Dasuki. Osman Muhammad Benji completes the story.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Brutai, says the Nigerian Army is fully equipped and ready to surmount insurgency and other security challenges in the country. He announced that the Army Council has approved the establishment of the 8th Division in Sokoto, adding that the aim is to further ensure sustainable peace and unity in Nigeria.
Today, I will say that the security situation is quite satisfactory.
On the late Sultan, Lieutenant General Brutai described him as a nationalist who contributed immensely towards national development. Responding, Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol describes the establishment of 8th Division as well as 2 command secondary schools in the state as commendable.
Indeed, the way you have been carrying on, in particular, your good self under your leadership, you have restored the dignity and integrity of your men in service. We commend you for that. Please don't be distracted. We know we've been monitoring a lot of distractions coming your way. Remain focused. We are with you fully.
During a similar visit to the Sultanate, Sultan Muhammad Sa'ad Abu Bakr III said as stakeholders in every policy and objective of the government, traditional leaders remain supportive of the Nigerian Army and other paramilitary organizations in bringing peace and development to Nigeria. In Sokoto, Osman Mohammed Benji, NTA News.
Polytechnics in the country have been charged to look into global economic conditions and provide solution to Nigeria's economic challenges to move the country forward. Minister of Education Adamu gave the challenge at the 12th Joint Convocation Ceremony of Waziri Umaru Federal Polytechnic, Birnin Kebbi. Usman Abdullahi Shehu has more.
6,351 jointly graduates of the year 2011 and 2015 received national diplomas and higher national diplomas at the occasion. The minister, represented by Dr. Masoud Kazauri, expressed federal government's commitment to continue to transform the nation into knowledge-based economy, where creativity and the use of knowledge will be a critical factor for economic growth and development.
I want to use this opportunity to challenge our polytechnics to look deeply at the global situation. See where we stand as a nation, challenges and what role they can play in preparing solutions to move the nation forward.
Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu said education is all about competition and effort to improve human ability. The rector, Waziri Umaru Federal Polytechnic, Birnin Kebbi architect Muhammad Sani Aliyu, joined the graduates to be good ambassadors of the institution. Personalities that attended the occasion include the Director General Nigerian Television Authority, represented by the Zonal Director, Sokoto Network Center, Bala Aliyu Gusau, and many others. Highlight of the occasion include distribution of prizes to outstanding graduates in academic excellence and award presentation to some outstanding entrepreneurs. In Birnin Kebbi, Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
And that's it from Sokoto. Nationwide continues with Ronke in Abuja. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Asmao in Sokoto. We now go to Jigawa State, where the government is seeking assistance from the World Bank, African Development Bank, and Islamic Development Bank of Iran to boost fish farming. Governor Muhammad Badar Abubakar disclosed this at the Awiyo Fishing Festival in the Awiyo local government area of the state. Salihu Aminu has the details.
Fishing has been a predominant occupation of communities along River Hadeja as it provides employment opportunity to several people in the area. To support the activity and boost food production, Governor Muhammad Badar Abubakar said his administration is partnering the World Bank, Africa Development Bank, and Islamic Development Bank of Iran to boost fish farming and other related agricultural activities. He restated the commitment of the state government to support farmers through the provision of improved seeds and other farming implements to complement federal government drive to boost production of rice and fish. Commissioner for Agriculture and Natural Resources Alhaji Kabir Ali says government is investing 35 million naira on fish farming in the state.
Yes, it will provide an opportunity for the state government to further showcase the state's agricultural potentials and the numerous economic activities being pursued vigorously by the rural populace in order to reduce the overdependence on oil revenues, which I believe to be the major cause of the current economic recession in the country. It will interest you to know
some fish farmers lamented over typha grass invasion, which affects fishing and free flow of water for irrigation along the river, soliciting quick government intervention. From Duse, Salis Aminu, NTA News.
INEC steps up preparation for the conduct of Rerun elections in Rivers. Mina is standing by with details and other reports from our Port Harcourt Network Center. Hello, Mina.
Hello, Ronke. Good afternoon and welcome to Port Harcourt. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Rivers State says rerun elections were held only in specific units and constituencies that were cancelled in the March 19th rerun polls. INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner Anyedi Ikowak, however, said all results that were collected at various levels will be integrated with December 10th outcome to determine the actual winners of various vacant legislative seats. Kingsley Amajiri reports.
Except for the Rivers Southeast Senatorial District, where the bulk of the exercise would take place.
We seem to be having some challenges in our Port Harcourt Network Center. Okay, we seem to get our signals back from our Port Harcourt Network Center. Mina, it is over to you again.
It's good to have you back. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Rivers State says rerun elections we hold in specific units and constituencies that were cancelled in the March 19th rerun polls. INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner Anyedi Ikowak, However, said all results that were collected at various levels will be integrated with December 10th outcome to determine the actual winners of various vacant legislative seats. Kingsley Amajiri has that report. Okay, apologies, that report seems not to be coming. The Nigerian Navy has called for stronger ties between military training institutions and corporate organizations towards producing a vibrant security personnel capable of enhancing national security and development. Commandant of the Nigerian Navy Basic Training School, Navy Commodore Dixon Olisamenago, was speaking after receiving 79 sets of school furniture from a corporate organization as part of his social responsibility. Well, seem to have a little problem here, so we're going back to Ronke in Abuja for a continuation of Nationwide.
Well, we didn't have a very wonderful time in Port Harcourt today, but Mina, we understood what happened. There must have been a technical hitch. And now to our next story. Maize Association of Nigeria says it is ready to surpass the 10 million tons maize production of last year to meet 40 million tons target of the federal government if supported with high-quality seeds and low-interest rate credit facility. The association president, Tunji Adenola, gave the indication at the biannual general meeting held in Abuja, as reported by Emmanuel Ayemiro.
Nigeria is one of the leading maize producers in West Africa. There exist shortages of maize in the country due to what farmers described as challenges beyond their control. To meet local needs, maize growers want government to come up with policies that will address hardship faced by maize farmers.
Early in the year, maize had this attack from armyworms, and the cry was all over the place that what I believe the government should do is to marshal the right chemical and flood the country so that we can check the spread of the disease.
Seed, fertilizer, these are the two major challenges. And then these challenges cannot be solved without government intervention.
Every farmer in Anambra State, in Southeast, is a cultivator of maize. But they need what? Input support.
The National Agricultural Seed Council of Nigeria says the seeds are available but hardly affordable.
Anchor Borrower Programs is a program aimed at solving this challenge by leading the farmers to people that will take up the produce, and then they will organize loan for them to buy this input fertilizer seeds.
The association says neighboring countries depend on Nigeria to feed their populace, which is an added market and steady income for Nigeria if the opportunity is maximized. In Abuja, Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
And now to news from across the globe. Guinea establishes first free HIV treatment center. For more reports on global tidbits, we now join Chimdima Undubisi.
In a bid to reduce the 1.6% HIV prevalence rate in Guinea, a medical center has been opened to treat for free HIV patients who are in an advanced stage of the illness. The center will also serve as an AIDS training and research facility. In Somalia, the Electoral Commission has for the third time postponed the presidential election due to incomplete number of the new parliament members that are to elect a new president. With the parliamentary election underway, our president is expected to be elected before the year ends. Meanwhile, South Africa's President Jacob Zuma has again survived an attempt to remove him from office, this time around from members of his African National Congress party. In the meantime, the United Nations humanitarian chief has expressed concerns over Syrian government troops' offensive in rebel-held Aleppo, as about 16,000 civilians are displaced and thousands more are likely to flee the area. That's Global Tidbits. Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.
And talking sports now, National Assembly holds public hearing on the Nigerian Football Federation bill As 14-time Mayor champion Tiger Woods returns to competitive golf. Kene Magbudike is our guide on Sports Update.
There are positive indications that the proposed bill on the repeal and reenactment of Nigeria Football Federation Act 2016 will soon be signed into law following a public hearing Monday in Abuja where robust inputs were submitted by participants.
This bill seeks to create the right legal framework that will help us avoid the mistakes of the past and shape a brighter path for the growth and development of football in this country.
Sports is driven completely to about 80% by the government. Therefore, there must be an established cordial relationship between the government and the federation.
We believe with this document, which to us is quite noble, to us we right so many wrongs, we lead us to the proverbial El Dorado.
If you are smuggling FIFA laws on one hand and establishing NFA on the other hand, there is a paradox there.
With the passage of this bill, this country will experience an appreciable improvement in the management of football.
The bill is scheduled for a third reading in the Senate upon a collation of necessary documents for further adjustments. The 7th edition of Time Out for Africa basketball competition has ended in Minna, Niger State, with Amado Bahago Secondary School winning the boys category out of 12 participating teams, while Government Secondary School Minna won the girls title. Dauda Mohammed reports that the series, which is geared towards grassroots development, featured a basketball clinic for over 300 children at the closing. 14-time major champion Tiger Woods is set to make a comeback to competitive golf at this week's Hero World Challenge, which he hosts in the Bahamas. The 40-year-old, who has been sidelined for 15 months due to back-related issues, says it had been a wise decision not to have rushed his return, having fallen to number 898 in the world ranking. With Sports Update, Keneng Imaburike, NTA News.
Thank you, Kene. And before we go, a quick reminder that you can watch all our stories and much more when you log on to our website, www.nta.ng. And that's it on Nationwide. We thank you for being part of it. And remember, there'll be more reports on the network at 7 on international news and the network news at 9. I am Runke Kolawole.